Start recording. There we go. Okay, cool. We're here. Hello. Hi, everyone. It's me, Nerdy-arty. Oh my god, the chat just went insane. Okay. I am here. I'm alive. We're tier ranking Omori ships. I set up everything in Clip Studio to make it fancy because I have very special tier names and very special opinions. But before I get to showing you the actual tier list, I feel like we have to go through rules and disclaimers because shipping is a very personal thing and my personal opinions are not your personal opinions. So, first we got some disclaimer. This is all my opinion. If I dislike a pairing you like, it does not mean that ship is immoral. You're valid for liking something I don't. That being said, I'm not going to sugarcoat my personal opinions on ships. I want to be honest with you guys, and I want to let you know how I'm feeling about things, what things I like, what things I don't, and if you disagree with me, you're cool. I really don't care. Why is chat slower on the screen but faster in YouTube chat? It's just how it is. I don't listen. I'm not a pro streamer yet. Okay, I'm stupid. Yeah, no. My sister is modding right now. They will ban if you don't follow the rules. Which, if you haven't read the rules yet, you aren't allowed to fight with others or me. Don't make generalized statements about other people who like ships if you don't like them. Like saying, for example, oh, all people who like Omori are boring. Like, no, don't say that. That's rude. You can express your positive and negative opinions on ships. I'm not trying to censor anyone, but I don't want you to trying to convince someone of an opinion that they don't have, okay? That's like my general rules. I hope you guys can all follow my rules, because if you don't, my sister is going to lay down a heavy band hammer for you guys. So, are you guys ready to see the tier list? I spent like an hour making this on Clip Studio. It's very special looking. Yes, okay. I just needed one person to say yes. Come on, interact with me, homies. No, I'm just kidding. Don't feel obligated. Anyways, this is my tier list. As you can tell, there are specially named tiers, and I'm gonna go through them very quickly, just to explain what the vibes are for today. So we have absolute brain rot. This is reserved for ships that take up every single thought that I have and do not escape my brain. You probably already know what's gonna end up in here, but absolute brain rot is so much more intense for me than the next tier down, which is goated with the sauce, that I have a buffer tier. Nothing is gonna go in here. This is just to separate absolute brain rot and goated with the sauce. Buffer is empty because I just need to show how important a pairing is to me over everything else. Then we have goated with the sauce. This is for the ships I really, really like and aren't the absolute brain rot ships, but when I see them on my feed or when I think about the characters interacting, I go, I love this, and they're amazing. They're the best, and I love them. But they're not the brain rot. Then we have Ite. I like these ships. They're cute. If I see them on my feed or think about how these characters interact, I'm like, damn, this is cute. I get why people really like it. I'm not obsessed with it, but it's Ite. Very much just neutral smile, you know? Just this. When I see it, I go this. When I see a ship that's like, meh, I'm like, it's alright. You know, it's good. I don't think about it very often. But again, if I saw it on my feed or someone super obsessed with it, I would understand. I would get it. I would go, yeah, that's good. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. So I don't have a tier for ships that I dislike. I just have a tier that's called boring. Boring is just like, I don't like it, and it's boring, and it's like, it's just, I don't really think about it. And then you're probably wondering, what the hell is this? What's this very, glitchy, shadowy, kind of mass covering the bottom tier. What is below here? Well, I have already placed a couple of ships in this forbidden tier, and I will uncensor and reveal what is under here. I just dropped something on the floor. I'm a professional streamer, guys. Alright, are you ready? Are you ready? This is the Shadow Realm. I refuse to let any of my opinions be known about any of these pairings here. No thoughts. Y'all are getting nothing. You don't know me. You don't know my thoughts. People think they're morally reprehensible, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay? This is the Shadow Realm, and I refuse to talk about them any more than I am right now. Yeah, it's the ship jail. Exactly. This is the ship jail. Let's just not talk about these anymore. I'm going to put the black space censoring back on here. You already know, you saw. Let's not talk about the Shadow Realm. That's the reason why it's the Shadow Realm. It's like black space. We're repressing it. We're repressing that it exists, okay? Let's get the obvious one out of the room. Absolute brain rot. Every single variation. There are 4 variations of the same pairing within here. They all go in absolute brain rot. I could talk about these ships for like 15 hours, but given that there is already an hour's worth of content on my YouTube channel explaining why I think about these two every day, I'm gonna keep it brief and just explain the general visceral enjoyment that I get from these bitches. Basically, I love me a ship with variety. People be like, oh, it's toxic and unhealthy. You know what? Sometimes I want to see toxic and unhealthy. I'm sorry, but I like it when things don't work out. I want to feel emotions sometimes, okay? And I want to feel sad. And I like it when ships can sometimes make me feel complicated feelings, okay? And they can also be really fucking wholesome and sweet and hold the hand and grow mentally and be happy together. A ship that swings from absolutely like awful dynamic should probably not be together, but if you look at it a different way, it could be, oh my god, seeing them overcome their differences and become a healthy couple makes my heart explode. Amazing. We love choice, and that's why it's so high up. There be ugly lists, let them be messy, let them be human. Esme gets it, okay? Let's move on. I feel really bad because for me, Kim and Aubrey is just I really like it, and I love lesbians, and guys, I promise, I am a lesbian. I understand the lesbianism and wanting there to be a popular Will-O-Wisp ship in Omori, and that's why it's not in meh. But Kim, to me, isn't too much of a developed character or a nuanced character for me to think too hard about all of the complexities of their dynamic. And unfortunately, Kim is just a very two-dimensional character would be the way to describe it. And because of that, it's aight. It's aight, but it ain't goated with the sauce. I'm so sorry, Kimbri fans. I know it's a really popular ship, but I told you I would have opinions that a lot of people wouldn't agree with, alright? Yeah, Aubrey is much more developed than Kim, and sort of makes sense. I hard to imagine their dynamic outside of what we see. Exactly. Goated with the sauce. Hiro Mari is obviously goated with the sauce. We love a ship that brings drama, but they're like the mom and dad of the group. They were forced to grow up super quickly, but they have each other, and it's sweet, and it's depressing giving the canon events of the story. It's delicious. It's chef's kiss. It's goated with the sauce. I love me a like ship with a girl boss and a male wife as well. It's just exactly, in a perfect world they would grow old. It's sad, and that's what makes me happy. Moving on. I'm gonna put both of the hero related bread twin ships in meh. Honestly, actually, I'm gonna put them in boring. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so here's my deal with Hero and Daphne and Hero and Bowen. It just feels like at that point, you are shipping Hiro with the leftovers that are in his age bracket. They never interact. We don't know too much about Hiro and Bowen's we don't know too much about Daphne and Bowen's personalities and if they would really become good with Hiro. I much prefer when people make up OCs to ship with Hiro because I think it's just so much more, there's so much more thought put into the dynamic. Exactly, Mari leftovers. It's true. I'm so sorry. And listen, if you can imagine amazing dynamics or come up with your own personalities for Bowen and Daphne that would mesh well with Hiro, I love that for you. Meh. I'm just putting this here because I don't think Basil is into women, and I don't think Kim is into men. This is a lesbian and a gay man. Other than that, I think if I headcanoned them as being into the opposite gender, quote unquote, maybe I would think it had more depth to it because there is that sort of interesting vibe to it, but I don't really understand why it exists. It's a lesbian and a gay man. That's basically what it is. Goated with the sauce, Kelbry. Amazing. Kelbry is so good, y'all. Kelbry is the only reason why I headcanon Aubrey as a bisexual, and I need you to know how wild that is to me as a raging lesbian that relates to Aubrey, that this fucking orange man makes me think that this bitch is at least a little bit into men. It's very important to me. They bicker, they argue, but all in all, they're always looking out for each other. There's such a good dynamic. I promise you, my opinions are not swayed any bit because my girlfriend and I remind me of Kelbry. Not at all. You don't know anything about that. You don't know my life. You don't know my dynamic with my girlfriend. Not to be a kitty on Maine, but I am the Aubrey to my girlfriend's Kel. And it's gross, and it's disgusting, and we've cosplayed them, and we've kissed in cosplay, okay? I can't put them any lower than Goated with the sauce. Boring again, because they never interact, and I can't think of a dynamic for them. The only reason why this ship is here is because I saw someone recommend it in the chat. You do you, because I love trying to find femme/, and I think there is potential here, but we don't even know if these bitches have ever met. I am so sorry about the rare pair slander. Listen, this is somewhat of a rare pair. I'm putting it in Goated with the sauce, okay? Just to make you guys feel a little bit better. I really like Cactiflower. I think it's cute. I think it is the better version of another Kel ship, and I will get to that later. I really enjoy the thought of them being alone together after the incident. I think there is that kind of interesting thing. I can write paragraphs about Cactiflower. I love it. Just sucks when I hear they barely interact. It's annoying. There are ways to imagine them interacting. That's a reason why I love it so much. And it's so cute. It's photobomb, meh. Again, Basil is gay to me. I'm sorry. I imagine Basil is homosexual. When we get to the poly ships involving Basil and Aubrey, I'll explain why I would like them more than photobomb in and of itself. But for now, it's going in meh. If you don't rate Sunchan as the best ship, I will explode and kill myself. Guys, please don't kill me. But I think Suntan is really boring. I'm just gonna wait for that to set in before I explain it, because I know a lot of people are gonna get mad about this one specifically, and I knew when I did tier ranking Omori ships that this would be the one that a lot of people would get mad at me for. I am not sorry though. Oh no, the chat is going insane. Oh no. Someone said, I thought you liked Suntan. In theory, I like it, I guess. How do I explain why I find it boring? Well, first of all, I have to let you know, this is the only Omori ship that I have muted on Twitter. because I find interpretations of this pairing to be very one-dimensional. A lot of the time, people ship Kel and Sunny in a way that I don't think is interesting. It's just very much me seeing people thinking that Kel is free therapy for Sunny. And I don't know how else to explain it. People will call this one the healthiest of the Sunny ships. I disagree. Just because a ship is seen as quote-unquote healthier than another pairing doesn't mean that it is interesting. That's how I see it. I can imagine why people enjoy it. I know why it's one of the most popular pairings in the fandom. I get it. I find it extremely boring. And when I say that Cactiflower is the better version of Suntan, is because I feel like Kel and Basil have a kind of energy that I feel like they can just relate to each other. They just make more sense to me than Suntan, which is why I don't understand why Suntan is so popular. But we're moving on. I'm gonna skip the next ship in the roster because I have opinions about it that after doing the Suntan opinions, I kind of want to give y'all a break. Mincy and Chris is aight, just because they're lesbians. They never interact, but they're lesbians, which is what makes it go above meh or boring. I also find Mincy to be really cute. We don't see much of her, but she's adorable, and I love me a water bitch and any bitch in a pairing. There is literally so little to both of these characters that you can make up so much about them. And I don't know how else to explain it other than that. I think it's cute. Okay, people want to see my hot take about Sunburn. Okay, so my takes about Sunburn are actually a lot more complicated than my takes revolving Suntan, but ultimately it's in the same tier. And I'm going to explain why. If we are thinking about Sunburn in the sense of a one-sided crush, in that it's just Sunny pining for Aubrey, and Aubrey not reciprocating either because in this context she may not be into men, or she just never really connected with him the same way Sunny imagined her, it's goated with the sauce. One-sided Sunburn is absolutely goated with the sauce. But seeing them as a relationship, as two people dating and growing together and growing up and going through trials, it's boring as a romantic pairing. I see them so much more as buddies. I love the idea of them being punk and emo besties, and no more than besties. I am sorry. It's also very straight to me. Or a lot of the time when I see Sunburn art, they kind of remove all the edge from Aubrey. This is why I was apprehensive on doing this stream in the first place, okay? But y'all asked for this. Why would you yell at me when you guys asked for this? You were preparing for drama. I am giving you drama. This one I just thought about like these are basically like the last three ships that I would put in boring for the same reasons why I would put like these three ships in boring. I do not like these ships. Ooh, it's a smiley face. I do not like these ships or don't find much interest in these ships for the same reasons. I just think it's a very, very well-developed three-dimensional character with a character we don't know enough about. And I've seen enough of these three pairings that I put them in here as like fodder. Basil and the Maverick is in there too. It exists too. Okay, just for you. Hi, this is my doc of making okay, here we go. I'm gonna move him to the side here. I'm gonna make them hold hands only to not like them. I'm gonna save this as the secret 35th ship, and I'm going to import this into the cheer list just because apparently it's popular. It goes in boring. And now I really have to condense boring because damn, do I have opinions? I don't want to make it look like this here is like some weird clone polycule. So I'm gonna try to separate them a little bit more. Okay, so what's left is the polycules and the headspace ships. I'm gonna go with the headspace ships first before I start discussing the polycules. First things first, I love toxic marriage. I think it's so great. I love that they hate each other. I love that they want to fight. I love that they're always divorcing and being in love. It's hilarious. They're so fucking hilarious in the worst way possible. I love Space Hearts so much for that reason. It's so chaotic, guys. On that note, I've seen a lot of Rococo and Space Boy as a, like, Space Boy deserves, like, an NB boyfriend. And I think that's I understand it. The thought of two very headstrong characters interacting with each other in a homosexual way is fun. This also goes in meh, literally because I have no more space in boring. And then finally we have this silly little polycule that my girlfriend came up with. I think it's cute. We call it like intergalactic jelly-filled donut or whatever the fuck is what we called the ship name.
I'm sorry, it has been brought to my attention by my shitty little girlfriend that Space Boy, Hero, and Sweetheart, we called it Space Jam Sandwich, not intergalactic jelly-filled donut. Okay, are you happy now, bitch?
We just find the idea of these two bitches fighting over fighting over Hero really funny. Sunkissed. Okay. People are asking for Sunkissed. I will put it in goated with the sauce. Literally, one of the other reasons why I don't really like Suntan all that much is because I feel like Basil's left out. If it's in a cactiflower context and Sunny gets added in, love. If it's a sunflower context and Kel gets added in, love, adore. If it's just Kel and Sunny, it's boring. I don't know how else to explain it. I've already gone over it. This is my way of redeeming all of the suntan people who were upset with me. Burnt sunflower, which is these three. I'm gonna go with Ite. Again, when I see this ship, I see it as Sunny is dating Aubrey and he's dating Basil, but Basil and Aubrey aren't dating, if that makes any sense. Basil and Aubrey are just besties, and Sunny has two partners. That's how I imagine the ship, because again, I headcanon Basil is gay. Aubrey and Basil are just, to me, super queer platonic. The copium. Yeah, so Suntan fans really on the copium right now. This is why I made my icon for this stream really smug, because I knew. These last two triples go in meh. I don't know. With both of these ships, I feel like something is missing. I'm like, where's Sunny? And here I'm like, where's Basil? That's honestly just because of how high up Sunflower is that I can't imagine them not being together. Kel, Aubrey, and Basil is what happens after the bad ending. No! That's so sad! No! Saved a very good ship for last. Solar System is goated with the sauce, y'all. It's so goated with the sauce, okay? Solar System base, Solar System. Yeah, okay, wonderful. I'm glad you all agree. I love this idea of a polycule with all of them. It's cute as fuck, honestly. I just think, Sunny deserves to get love, okay? He's gone through it. They all love him. They all cuddle, and they all hold hands with each other. This is me drawing them to hold hands with everyone. When I put Solar System together, I made Aubrey and Basil the most separate from each other. I also made it Kelbree and Sunflower because that's my favorite interpretation of Solar System, in that these two were separate couples and then they just connected. But how would that work with lesbian Aubrey? I don't headcanon Aubrey as a lesbian. Aubrey to me is a raging bisexual who has a preference for women, but somehow these two bitches came into her life and she was like, fuck, okay, maybe some men are okay. And then Basil was like, oh, I'm not into women, but you're amazing and I love you in the most platonic way possible. And she's like, cool, can we share boyfriends? Yes. This is my entire tier list. Again, the buffer is literally just to show how much more I adore Sunflower over everything down here. Okay? Especially this tier down here. Okay? I have made an hour's worth of analysis content explaining why I love Sunflower. I feel like I don't have to talk about them for more than that much. Yeah, no one's in the jail zone. This is just some glitching. I don't know how to stop it. I honestly, like, it's just some weird little glitch that happened down here. I don't know why it's happening. I'm just kind of choosing to ignore it. I refuse to try to fix the glitch, you know? I think some things are better just kept forgotten, you know? This fandom, I swear. Yeah, what's with all these meme ships? Do you want to know my genuine opinion on any meme ships? Do we want to end off with what I think of ships like Mari X Stairs, Kel X Burger, Life Jam Guy X Hero, all of those annoying ships? Well, they're boring. Those jokes are tired. They've been used so many goddamn times. I want to see new jokes in the Omori fandom. And that's my final opinion, is on the meme ships. All in all, I totally understand if you disagree with any of my thoughts, especially for these ships down here. Because all in all, these ships are harmless. They're not doing anything. These bitches are 64 by 64 pixels, okay? And you're allowed to think of whatever dynamics you want with them. So if you love them, I love that so much for you. Like, genuinely. My biggest thing is people finding things that they enjoy in fandom and curating their fandom experience so they see those things that make them happy. Because the world sucks. If any of the ships in the boring tier for you make you happy, that's totally awesome. Listen, I'm just saying, if you ever want me to make propaganda for any of the ships that I said I didn't like, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. My commissions are open. You can pay me real money to draw them, and I'll have to think about them in a romantic sense. That's my way of bribing you. I hope you guys liked sitting by and watching me air out my opinions. I want to be honest with you guys, and I want to let it be known that it is okay to not like something because you dislike it. A lot of people try to moralize things that they dislike when it is okay to be a hater. And that's the message I want to keep you guys with. It's okay to not like something that is seen as objectively good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm glad that a lot of y'all were really respectful, and the most dissent that I saw was jokes. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. And I'm gonna say bye-bye now. Bye-bye!